Hello and welcome. I'm Geraldine Wilkins, the Living Water Quilter. Welcome to Quilt Conversations Live. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to Lori over there on YouTube, Lorraine on Facebook. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Jacqueline. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Who did I miss? There's Rochelle. Hello, Rochelle. So glad that you're here from Oklahoma City. And Marsha, how are you? Welcome, welcome, ladies. It's so good to be with you. And hello to Wilda. I think I got everyone. Well, we are going to talk about how to get the most out of your machine quilting online courses. Many of us these days are taking video courses and we want to get the most out of them. How many of you, let us know in the chat, have taken a video course or in the middle of taking a video course? Let us know if you are in a quilting course, video-based course. You take it online, you do it at your own pace perhaps. What do you think about the style? Now, there's so many different styles of online education. There's video based, which is short term, meaning you have 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. And then there's long term, which is unlimited. It's take the course whenever you are ready. Or perhaps it's a live virtual video, where it's just for an afternoon or over a couple of days. And there's no replay. You only get to learn and apply during the live session. Let us know not only if you are in a course, but if you're in a course, what kind do you like? Do you like to have 24-hour access? Or do you need a deadline? If you know you only have 3 months to watch the course, to learn the technique or the pattern or the tool, and that helps you to complete the course, let us know. Do you need a deadline? Or do you prefer to have lots of time to watch over and over again the course? Let us know in the chat. Let's see who else has arrived. Welcome, Angela. So glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. It doesn't matter where you're taking the course or what kind of course you've taken. I'm curious to know what you like and prefer. Do you like video courses that include videos, PDF downloads? Do you like to have a live component to a online video course? Sometimes there are courses that allow you to watch the videos and then maybe once a month, once a week, you get a chance to have a live conversation with the teacher. What do you prefer? Let's see. Hello, Elizabeth. So glad that you're here. She says she likes to replay numerous times. I like that option too, because sometimes the first time I hear it and watch it, it doesn't sink in. I need to watch it again and again. And I notice that when I do, I pick up things I missed the previous time. Let's see who else is in the chat letting me know about their online courses. Rochelle says she's only done the alphabet course, and I love that it's self-paced and unlimited viewing. Fabulous. Angela says she enjoys the live and the replay, and you are welcome. We're so glad that you're here. And let's see. Lori says she agrees with Facebook. Elizabeth, thank you for that. Yes. Well, before we get into the details of 5 tips to help you get the most out of your online courses, because what can happen is that when it's unlimited, like it is for my courses, we can always say, I'll get to it next week or next month. And all of a sudden it's a year and you haven't even looked at the introduction. So we're going to talk about that. But before we do, for those of you who have been on Facebook with my questions, every day I've been putting up a question to quilters. And you ladies have been fantastic with sharing your own tips and style of quilting, sharing photos, offering tips. And I'm so excited. And if you have not been, I encourage you to go and look at the post about what non-quilting tool do you use to help you get better results that you enjoy using. There's over 300 comments on this post. Ladies have been sharing all the different things that they use, from magnets to chopsticks to glue to, let's see what else. Someone uses some kitchen tools they use in their sewing and craft room. Maybe some of you remember some of those. You can share in the chat. Go check that out. One lady commented that she went through the whole thing with a piece of paper and a pen, and she was writing down all the things that the tips that ladies were sharing, things that they use in their sewing and craft room to help them with organization, with all kinds of things. It's really, really a fantastic resource. And then we had a conversation about UFOs. How many UFOs? So I decided unofficially to create a club, the Prolific Quilters Club. Those with 10 or more UFOs. How many of you are in that club? So Jacqueline says that she's in the alphabet design course, which is my course, and she loves that she can watch the videos over and over. And I agree. Having that is fantastic. So Lori says, I have a difficult time with live sessions associated with courses because we are all in different time zones. Yes, that does make a challenge. Lori is in Hawaii, for those who you don't know. Hey, Ruth Ann, welcome. So glad that you're here. Welcome. Excited to watch. We're so glad that you're here. So, what are the 5 tips? Let's start with that. Oh, hello, Benita. So glad that you're here. Let's take a look at the 5 tips. All right, what is the first tip? What's the first tip? The first tip is to acquire the knowledge. You want to acquire the knowledge. And so if you're in a course, they have given you multiple ways often. I know in my courses, I have multiple ways for you to acquire the knowledge. One is video, right? So you want to watch the video several times. The first time you're listening, you're not really prepared to do any work yet. You're just listening and watching. And you're taking notes, right? You're going to take notes. I have a little cheat sheet here to help me remember what I want to share with you. So you want to allocate specific time to watch each video without distraction so that you can acquire the information, the knowledge. You want to take notes. You want key points and techniques that you want to learn and practice. You want to write those down. What are you going to get out of that video, right? Then after you've watched the video, maybe summarize the takeaways. If you can't summarize any takeaways on your own, perhaps you need to watch it again. When we do that, when we summarize, we are reinforcing what we've learned and what we understand, right? Yes, fantastic. Lori says she has a full ring binder of notes for Quilt Conversations live alone. That's our live session here on YouTube and on Facebook. That's fantastic. Hopefully, it's a good reference for you, Lori, that you can refer to over and over. That's fantastic. So, that's the first thing. We want to acquire the information. And we're going to do that through reading, through watching the video, reading the notes inside the lesson, right? Okay, the next thing is we want to apply what we learn, right? We acquire the knowledge and now we have to put it to practice. We want to now apply application of the knowledge. And how do we do that? You want to set aside some dedicated time. And I know with all of us having very busy schedules, we can say, I will put it on the schedule sooner or later. And usually it doesn't happen sooner, and later never comes. So what you want to do is actually schedule it. Schedule the time. If you make a date with yourself and you put it in the calendar to apply what you've learned, that is going to be the first step of applying that knowledge, right? So you want to schedule time to practice, to apply what you learn on the machine. And if you're in the first module of an online course and it's about machine setup, set aside time to set up the machine, right? Now, with my courses, if you are acquiring the knowledge, tip number 1, that means you're watching. You're not doing anything but watching and listening. You can do that anywhere because it has an app. You can use a browser on your cell phone or you can use the app to watch the video. Matter of fact, someone told me, I think it was Terry, she said she was watching some videos on her phone while she was in, I think, the doctor's office. So Marsha says she needs to buy a notebook. Yes. All right. Awesome, awesome. Now, what else can we do to apply? You want to begin each practice session with a clear goal, right? You know exactly what you're going to do. Do not just say, well, let me get started and see what I can do. If you're very purposeful about what you're going to spend your scheduled time on, it's on the calendar, you've given yourself 30 minutes to apply a specific technique, right? You want to do that. And this will help you move through the course step by step. Now, what is the third thing? You've learned because you acquired the knowledge. Now you're applying it. Do you have to apply it only once, twice, 3 times? What do you think the third tip is? If you've acquired the knowledge, you've taken notes, you've rehashed it in your mind, the things that you've learned, you know specifically the things that you want to apply. What else do you think you need to do? What's number 3? Before I put it up, I want to know if you know. So let's see. You'll love having, not just the course of work referred to, but okay, yes. You'll have notes. You'll love having not just the course to work to refer from, but also to talk about it here as a resource. Okay, awesome. Great tips. Rochelle, you got it. Yes, it is practice. Practice, practice, practice. A lot of times in my videos that I share on social media, I am constantly, I'm constantly talking about practice. And specifically, I talk about practice with purpose. Since you have already been diligent with your acquisition of the knowledge, right? Watch the video, taking notes, knowing specifically what you want to apply. Now you're being very purposeful about your practice because you don't have time to waste. You and I have precious time. right? We don't want to waste our time. So be purposeful about your practice. How do you do that? Identify times in your schedule when you are most alert. Are you a morning person? Do you have free time in the morning before the family gets up? Or is it in the evening? Do you need the evening so that your day is done, all your home tasks, your work tasks are complete, and you know that the evening is the best time? Are you a night owl? That's when you can have purposeful practice. Maybe you can't do it during the week, and the weekend, early morning is the best time for you. You are alert, you are rested, and you can concentrate. Let us know in the chat, are you an early bird or are you a night owl? Which is the best time for you to have purposeful practice? Oh, thank you, Kathy. So glad that you're here. Welcome, welcome. So Lorraine says she is a night owl. That's when she is most productive. She has purposeful time to apply what she's learned and or to be creative. Part of learning is also and applying what we learn gives us the opportunity to be creative. Sharon says mornings. Yes, I think I'm a night owl. I think I'm a night owl. Sometimes I'm a morning person, but if I'm going to do something in the morning, usually I have decided to dedicate most of my day to that specific thing. If it's a small project or a small step or thing that I need to do, I will usually do that at the end of the day and 8, 9 o'clock at night and maybe work till midnight. Late night, says Marsha, with lots of coffee. Yes. Yes. Anyone else? What about you, Lori? And who else is here? Bernita, when is the best time? Ruth Ann, when is the best time for you to apply and practice purposeful practice when you are taking a course? Right? Let us know in the chat. And do you have any tips? Let's share with each other what things that you have used to help you get through and get the most out of your courses. So, step number 4. What do you think is the tip for number 4? Instead of step, I mean tip. So, tip number 1 is acquire the knowledge. Tip number 2 is apply the knowledge. And tip number 3 is purposeful practice of what you are learning. Benita says the mornings is her best time. Lori says afternoon is good for her. Yes, Jacqueline, when we set aside specific times and we put it in our schedule, we are, what Jacqueline says, making it a habit. It becomes a part of our routine. When we don't do that and do it haphazardly, it's hard for us to make it part of our regular routine. Late morning for Ruth Ann to mid-afternoon. All right, now, number 4. What is the 4th tip to help you get the most out of a course? What do you think that is? I wonder if you're going to guess this. It begins with the letter A. Yeah, it begins with the letter A. You may not guess it, so I will just share it. For those of you who are in my course, you know that, or courses, that as you go through the course, you start at the top, right? You start at the top, and that's information about the platform. Then there's supply lists and other information. Then there's beginning tips to help you before you get to the main content. Once you get to the main content and you're watching the videos to get the knowledge and you're applying and you're practicing, what are you supposed to submit? What are you supposed to submit? Ah, Lori, share it. Yes, you're supposed to share it with the instructor, whether it's me or any other teacher and it's online. I think one of the things that many students miss out on online courses is the opportunity to ask the teacher, to show the teacher and ask the teacher. On my platform, you get access. You get access to me to look at your work, to offer help and suggestions, and to encourage you. Yes, that is so important. So, how do you do that? It's by first submitting an assignment. Submit assignments. If your online platform allows you to submit assignments, do it. Do it. Now, think about this if you've ever taken a class with me in person, which I love to do that, but usually it's a class of 20 students, right? I love 6-hour classes because then I can spend more time with each student to ask them what specifically are they having trouble with, what specifically can I help them with, and specifically I watch them as they quilt so that I can see what they're doing. But that is limited to 6 hours. But with an online course, it's unlimited. You can ask me questions because not only can you submit assignments, we can have an ongoing private discussion on the platform, right? So, make an appointment. Now, of course, you can make an appointment with me if that's, excuse me, if you want a video. That's something separate. If you want a Zoom video and you want me to chat with you, that's separate. But if you want help, like Jacqueline is one of the students for the alphabet course, and she has on a regular basis, like others, has been submitting photos of her progress. I get a chance to look at it, offer suggestions on where to go next based on where she is at, right? Individualized attention, hand in the assignments. Allow me to help you or any instructor that you're in an online course with to help if they offer that, right? And so once you sign up for a course, you always have that opportunity to ask me for help. When you take an in-person class, it only lasts for that 6 hours, right? Or 3 hours, right? Each one has its own benefits, right? So, what do you think is the last tip? So, the first tip is acquire the knowledge. Set aside dedicated time to listen and watch the videos or read the document or text inside the course. The next is to take those notes that you have written down as you were watching, figure out, well, what am I going to apply that I've learned? I can't apply all that's in there, but I can start applying them one by one, right? The lessons, the information learned. Which ones am I going to apply? Then put it on your schedule to practice. Purposeful practice. If you're an early bird or a late owl person, you want to make sure it becomes a habit by putting it on your schedule. Then you want to show what you've accomplished. When you do the actual work and you practice, you're going to see visually a representation of your growth, that you are going higher and higher in your skill because you're going to have a reference, right? You want to take action. Exactly, Jacqueline. You want to take action. The last one is close to action, but it goes along the lines of assignments, right? It's called answers, right? Answers. What does that mean? And it's let me try that again. What does answers mean in totality? It means we want to get answers that come from a community of quilters, right? One, you want to submit assignments and then review what the instructor or teacher said about the assignment. Then you want to clarify if you misunderstood anything. If the teacher said, I the assignment is fantastic, I would like you to do this next thing or try this, you want to make sure you understand what direction they're leading you in so that you can get to the next step in your personal journey. So you get the answers to help you get to the next spot. And another way to do that is to share your work in communities. Every course, at least in my course, we have a community where you can make a comment. There's an ongoing discussion thread, and I'm going to show this to you, where students and teachers can interact, teacher being me, can interact with each other. So when you share your work with other students, this is what it does. I'm going to read it to you. When you submit assignments and you ask the instructor questions, you want feedback. And the reason why you want feedback is because you want guided practice. So rather than practicing random things that are not helping you reach your goal, by getting input from your teacher, from other quilters that you admire and respect, it's going to help guide your practice. It's going to make the practice more purposeful. And when you engage in any quilting community, and specifically for the course, but others as well, you are starting to learn from your peers. Peer-to-peer learning is so important. And I learned this recently. They did a study with college students. College students that are more likely to succeed are in study groups. If you are a loner and you're all by yourself, it's more difficult and challenging to succeed by yourself. There's a verse in the Bible that says, iron sharpens iron, so sharpen the countenance of your friend. When we are helping each other, what I see is going to be different than what you see. And you can offer me insight on something that I can't see. So being in a community of other quilters, submitting assignments, and engaging in the conversation is going to accelerate not only your learning and acquisition of information and then application, it's going to improve your skills, right? And you're going to reach the goals that you want as a machine quilter, right? You get new perspectives on the same information, right? Think of this. Have you ever heard this example before where they have a scene, and maybe it's been like a mystery, a detective mystery kind of thing, solve the problem, or murder mystery. I think that's what it is. And everyone's in the same room and they're saying, well, who did this? Who did that? Who was in the room? Who was not in the room? And we're all in the room, but everyone saw something different, heard something different. We all don't hear and see the same thing, although we're all in the same room. Even tonight, right? What are you learning tonight with other quilters? You're hearing the same information, but something is going to stick out to you more than something that will stick out to someone else. You are going to remember something about this live session more than someone else who may pay attention to another aspect. So being in community is important. And then to apply the feedback. So you're getting answers for what did I miss in the video when you were acquiring the information, because you're having discussions with other quilters in the same course. You're sharing what you've learned by sharing photos and other things that you have done in the course with others. And they're saying, oh, well, I tried this. Did you do this? Did you download this? Oh, I didn't see that in the course. Was that in there? How did I miss that? That's what's going to happen when you do it in community, right? So a lot of you are in the alphabet course. Several of you make comments. Usually they're directed at me, but not a lot of is happening with each other. And so I want to encourage that. So for those of you who are not in the alphabet course or in any of my courses, I want to give you an opportunity by signing in to my student, my test student. So I have a test student that takes every course. When you go to the website and you click at the top, my courses, just above my head, it says my courses. You can see the little bar get highlight underneath my courses. Once you click that, you come to this page and you will have your courses with a status bar. And you can see some of them don't have a blue line, which means I did not start the course, right? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. So let's click on the alphabet design course. Every course has a beginning page with a introductory video to help encourage you to get started. Okay. Once you do that, underneath it, it tells you how many lessons you have completed, how many lessons there are in total. And a lesson can be a number of things. Here is the course curriculum. In the first part, it is called Introduction and Helpful Tips. There are 12 lessons in that. When I open up that section, we have multiple things, and there's a little circle right by each line, and that tells you if there's a video, if it's a PDF to download. It gives you information about how that is going to be acquired. Number one in our tips. How am I going to acquire the information for what? Let's see. Machine quilting thread and needles. Right next to it, there's a little symbol that says it's a video. Then on the far right, it tells you if you started or if you haven't started. You can revisit, you can resume where you left off, or you can start, right? You go through each of these one by one. My online courses are structured for you to start at the top. I know all of us are tempted to skip ahead, but I encourage you. The order is purposeful. It's to help you get started with the right information, and the information builds one on top of the other. So let's go in and we can look at, let's see. Let's revisit the free motion tips. Once we are in one of the sections, on the left-hand side is the same course curriculum. I'm going to collapse it and then open. Introduction and Helpful Tips. When I click on the far down arrow, it shows me all the lessons inside, right? At the very top, there's something right above the video, right above my head. It says discussions. Remember, the fifth tip is answers, getting answers within community, getting help from others. When I click that, it goes down to the bottom to see, is there a discussion happening about this section of the course? And one person, Darlene, says, I do have all the items above. I could use some more thread nets. Discussion is happening. This is excellent, says Sharon. This is an excellent list for all of us, right? So you go through You watch the video, you read the text if there's any, you submit assignments if there's an assignment to be submitted. If you hit next just below me, that goes to the very next lesson. Or you can go back to the left and click the lesson on the left-hand side. Once you finish that section, you can go to what is next when the course is called the stitching path. And when I click on that, you see it says PDF, but there's always a video and other information to tell you how to get started. So step by step, right? You want to go through your courses step by step. So now I'm back at the beginning of the alphabet course. All I have to do is click My Courses to go back and find the course that I want to start or to resume. Perhaps you're in the ruler course. How much are the courses? The prices vary for the courses. You can click on the link. I think if you're on YouTube, Lori can put a link in how to get to the courses. If you're on Facebook and you want that link, let me know. I will share that. There's also the ruler quilting course. There are several challenges for specific rulers to help you get started. Let's see if I can start this again. All right. Rotate. It's moving kind of slow. Okay, so here's the curriculum for the Curve Ruler Quilting Challenge. Again, we have separate modules with lessons in each one. So for every single course, there should be an online course, a start of how to get started, the tools and supplies you need, and then tips before you get to the meat of the course. Every single course that I have includes that because I want you to be successful. And if you do it one by one, it's going to help you. So, ruler quilting machine tips, the ruler foot height. I'm giving you all this information about acrylic rulers, not just the supply list, so that you can be successful. And when you click on it, let's go to ruler quilting machine tips. Click on that, and there's a video. And again, it's the same format, whether it's a free motion quilting course or a ruler quilting course. Excuse me. Hey, Jacqueline, so glad that you're here. Jacqueline Guy, welcome. So glad that you're here. And let's see, who else is here? All right, just checking the comments to see if there's any additional questions. And then there's a discussion underneath, right? Always check the discussion for other information and submit assignments. Once you go through the introductory part, which is supply list, what you have to download, everything that I offer in the beginning to get you started, right? Step by step. Do not skip ahead. I know some of us want to go straight to the design. Let's go to one of the designs. It tells you exactly what's going to happen in the course. Let's see, let me refresh that. By this point in the course, okay, it keeps telling me error. I'm doing this live on the website, so we're going to get a couple of hiccups. Let's see. It's delaying it. But do you notice underneath the video, there's assignment? It's saying submit an assignment. And you're going to do that here. You're going to write notes. You're going to upload a photo if you need to, and then you click submit. And then underneath that will be a conversation between you and the instructor. And if you want to have a private discussion, you submit the assignment. Let's see if I can get this to work. Try that. Okay, it won't work for me. Instead, what I'll do is that I will come out of that. I think you get the point, right? Acquire the knowledge, apply it, practice, purposeful practice. The fourth one, let's go through them again. Submit your assignment so that you can get feedback, so that when you practice again, you have very specific things that you want to practice based on feedback. And then the fifth thing, you want to be in community, right? So that is so important. And so for many of you that are in the alphabet course, you know that at the beginning of the year, I included more videos, which is another benefit of many online courses, especially mine. I will continually update courses as I find out what the student needs are, what challenges that I may have missed in the course. I will add another video or I will add another resource to help you be successful. So you pay one time but have continual access, and you get new content for the videos, for the courses. And I like to be able to do that so that you can continue to grow. And one thing that the alphabet course does, it really helps us with learning edge-to-edge patterns. Edge-to-edge patterns, as well as patterns to help us build our skill to follow stencils, right? So this is some of my early free motion quilting work, where I was learning on a small scale how to fill space, how to fill the background, how to stitch a design repetitively over and over again to build my skill with that specific design. And so I use this as a practice. These are placemats where I practice specific techniques in the background to help build my skill. That is considered purposeful practice. So if you're new to that idea of what purposeful practice is, that can happen once you've moved from your practice sandwiches. You're going to go to small projects, tote bags, zippered pouches, table runners, placemats, things like that. Okay. Then we talked about going from free motion quilting to ruler quilting. Ruler Quilter Star. It's the same format. You're going to have an online access that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you're going to have very specific get started videos and tips before you get to the meat of the course. I think this is so important because we all need to warm up. We all need to check our machines, make sure we have the right supplies. Let's see, am I missing anything here in the comments? All right, prayers for Miss Jacqueline. What did I miss? Waiting to see the doctor. For a head and shoulder injury. I'm sorry to hear that, Jacqueline. Hope you get better soon. And everyone in the comments is saying the same. Thank you, everyone. We need to support each other. Okay. Awesome. I'm so glad for that. Now, ladies, you know that although we're talking about online courses, this applies to any type of course or class or workshop you take, right? So many of you know that we can acquire knowledge on quilting via a course, video-based course, a class, a workshop, a lecture, quilt show. The venue can be different. It could be at a quilt shop. It could be at a quilt retreat. It could be at your guild, multiple places. But all of this really still applies. We still want to get the most we can out of these opportunities. And I'm so thankful that I've been able to share with you quilting, specifically ruler quilting and free motion quilting, in various ways, whether it's an online course that you get access to 24/7 and you can watch the video over and over again. There are benefits to in person, right? In person teaching and classes. And so, as many of you know, I will be at AQS, meaning the American Quilter Society show in Paducah, teaching ruler quilting. I'm going to teach basic beginner, and this is power lines. And from there, another beginner class is going to be circles. I'm going to show ladies how to use a circle for ruler quilting. And I'm teaching both on a home machine and on a sit-down long arm. Beginner techniques, right? And then one of my favorite rulers is the snowflake. It's called a snowflake template. But I use it for all kinds of things, edge to edge designs and beautiful border designs. Fun template. And then the other favorite is the clamshell. So many opportunities to learn and get to the next level, but we still need to apply these 5 tips. So, where are you in your journey with your online course? Let us know in the chat. Are you just starting, acquiring the information? Have you started to apply what you have learned? Let us know how it's going for you in your online class. No matter what it is, what step are you in the journey? Are you on step number 3? Do we have a limited amount of time for each step, or can the time be repeated over and over? I think there's someone who has gone through the alphabet course at least twice. How many have gone through it a third time now that we have a new set of videos in there? I think I put in 10 additional videos. Let me get to here. Yes, Bonita, I can't wait to meet you too in Paducah. Yes, I can't wait. And Lorraine is right. Circles are very versatile. Yep, very versatile. So where are you? Make an honest assessment of where you are with your online courses so that you can move to the next step. If you're at step number 5, start over. Remember, we always miss something. Most often, my videos have lots of tips in it, and we can't apply all of them all at once. We have to do them one by one, different techniques one by one. So start back at number 1 again. So Rochelle says she's in a constant loop with 1 to 3. She's stubborn on number 4 and 5. You know what, Rochelle? Many are. Many are stubborn. And that's one reason why I wanted to have this session with you ladies, to remind you that I am here to help you. Send in those assignments. Participate in the discussion. If you are shy and you just want the discussion to be between me and you, that's fine. But there is a benefit. And for those of you who are just joining us, earlier on, I talked about my Facebook page. I list a question every day, one quilting question. Go scroll through the feed. There is a question about what non-quilting tool or sewing tool do you use that help change your experience. It improved it, has a positive effect on your quilting and sewing experience. There are over 300, almost 400, 368, last I checked, comments, and more than 75% of them are tips. Ladies have dropped in photo examples. They've shown different tips on things that they use to help them in their sewing space. So, what is that an example of? That's an example of number 5, getting answers, getting help with tools and techniques to help make your sewing and quilting experience better. So, go check that out. If you haven't, leave a comment. Thank those who have left tips. There's other side conversations even happening in that post. Jacqueline, I wish you could come too. Sharon says, looking at the list, she's at number 3. Okay, number 3, you're practicing. Practicing, that is good. So there's only 2 of you out of everyone that's here that's going to confess, are going to be honest about where they are in their online course. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Ladies, thank you so much for being here tonight. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was helpful. The last thing I want to share with you is another learning opportunity because we all learn differently, right? I'm testing something out. I mentioned it before, and it is Studio B. Studio B Live is me quilting on my Bernina sit-down long arm. You get a chance to look over my shoulder, and I do it twice a month, the second and fourth Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I did one yesterday. And you get an opportunity to watch me work on a project over a series of sessions. We work quilting one project from beginning to end. And I show you and share with you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And you can be a subscriber here on Facebook or on YouTube. Those are the 2 places I recommend that you join. And you can go on my Facebook page and it says Subscriber Hub. And you can look at subscribe with the blue button. If you click the blue button and subscribe, then you come back and you click Subscriber Hub. There I have subscriber only posts that only subscribers can see, and that is where the live session replay is available. So if you can't make it live for that month, you can watch the replay. You can watch the replay where I share the tips as I'm working on a project. And if you've been watching my social media posts, yesterday's live session was about quilting big 15-inch square flowers on a big quilt. I've been working on a big quilt. So that's another way that you can participate. What's the other? That's on Facebook. This is YouTube. When you're on YouTube, just look below the video and look for the word join. This shows that I was live on Facebook, and then this one is YouTube. So on YouTube, you click join, and then you'll see the little members only video indicator. And this was from yesterday where I was talking about and stitching out big flowers on this big quilt. So I've been working on quilting a big quilt. It doesn't matter if you don't have a long arm. All the techniques still apply, even for a home machine. So basically, twice a month, you get a chance to look over my shoulder, learn how I quilt things, and that's another way for you to acquire information that you can then apply and practice in your own quilting projects. Okay, so that's another way. Facebook or YouTube. I know that not everyone is on Facebook, so I have figured out the tech. And let me tell you, there is a challenge to figuring out the tech for every platform. So, ladies, find out the way that works for you. Join me in person if you can. I would love for you to join me in person at a guild event or a quilt shop event. I have some coming up in May. I'll announce those once they are settled. I've been in conversations with a shop here in Virginia to teach some ruler quilting. So if you're in Virginia and you want to do some ruler quilting, I'm going to be teaching next month. As soon as that gets ironed out, I will announce it. And then I'm going to travel and go to a place, New Orleans. I'm going to go to Louisiana and teach at a guild there in May. Once I get all the details, I'll let you ladies know. So, in-person events, but there's also online, and you can do it in multiple ways. Self-paced, 24 hours, 7 days a week, rewatching videos and learning and applying the information. Or you can join me live with Studio B and look over my shoulder as I quilt. So many options, ladies. So we are just about done. I'm so glad that you were here. Let us know what you have planned for the rest of the month, because I won't see you again, right, until April, right? The first Friday in April is the next time that we will meet, unless you become a subscriber and or member on Facebook and YouTube. I hope you do. So that in that case, I will see you next week, right? There's some ladies already who are joining me on Instagram as well as Facebook. You are welcome, Lori. So glad that you were here. And Jacqueline, I'm so glad that you are in steps 3 and 4. Fantastic. So Lorraine says, so glad that you've done this. I'm going to go through this with my new machine. Congratulations on your new machine, Lorraine. Yes, she's going to read her manual. Ladies, take note of that. Manual. She's going to read it. Fantastic. And she's going to practice tomorrow. Awesome. And Jacqueline, it's good to be a beginner. We are all beginners at something all the time. As we acquire knowledge and information and apply it, we learn it, then we are trying something new. And then guess what? I'm a beginner again. So we're all beginners over and over. So Jacqueline Black says she needs to know how to use measurements on rulers. Yes. If you take one of my online courses, Jacqueline, you will learn that. I go through what all of that means and how to use them, very specific, especially with the curves and clams challenge that I've been doing. By the way, that kit, it's a Bernina Curves and Clams ruler kit. It is on sale for the month of March. So if you are thinking about taking that course, because there's 2 more that are coming out, there's 4 challenges in total. So I haven't yet released 2 other courses. There's one on ovals and there's one on clams. Both of those are going to be released in the next 2 months. So if you get the kit, you're going to have a course for each one of those rulers. And I go over all the lines, information on the rulers to show you how to use them. And guess what? Because it's an online class, you get to watch it over and over and over again. All right, Ruth Ann, she says she's ready to try a course. Fantastic. Yes. All right, Sharon, so glad you're going to check out on Facebook. Awesome. Good, good, good. And so Elizabeth says Virginia Star. 12 and a half years ago, first person in class. Yes. All right. From kind of self taught now back to adventure with you. It's wonderful to have you here, Elizabeth. I notice your comments on Facebook and I appreciate them, your contribution to the community. Thank you so much for participating in those daily questions. All right. I think I've gone through all the questions. If I missed your comment or question, I apologize. I try and catch most of them. I know that I can't catch them all. So if you are new and you haven't joined the chat, join the chat next time. We'd love to have you. And if you're new and you haven't subscribed, or if you're old and you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful, and don't keep it a secret. Share it with your other quilting friends. Help them also to be encouraged and be a part of the Quilt Conversations live community. This is date night, and if you haven't already, I know some of you have, and I almost forgot, don't forget to get your date night merch. Get a tote bag, get a sweatshirt, get a zipper pouch, get a mug. And if you're on YouTube, there is a carousel on the bottom that you can click on for each of these, and or Lori can drop the link in the chat. I know some of you have ordered yours, and I have mine. I have my tote right here. And then here's my zippered pouch. Isn't that cute? Let me get that up there. Isn't that cute? Little zippered pouch. And it's on both sides. All right, ladies, it is now 8:03. Oh, yay. Wilda says that she got her tote and zippered pouch. Very nice quality. Awesome. What color did you get, Wilda, for the tote? I'm curious. Oh, you're welcome, Jacqueline. Ah, Jacqueline Guy has a shirt. Yay. You're welcome, Rochelle. It's my pleasure to encourage you. I want us all to succeed, because ultimately we are all learning so that we can make, not only have fun, use it as therapy because sewing and quilting is relaxing, but also to make beautiful gifts and treasures for family, friends, and for the communities that we serve. I know many of you serve your community by making different things for cancer survivors, for baby dedications, for new mothers, for all sorts of reasons. We all make things so that we can share it with others, right? So I want you to be able to do it with fun and success so that you can increase your machine quilting skills. All right. Okay, Wilda says my tote is blue like mine, and the zipper pouch is purple. Awesome. Yay. All right, ladies, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time for another Quilt Conversations Live.